explore the wisdom of the revered Narada Bhakti Sutras, a cornerstone of Hindu devotion, with His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda. Experience 45 enlightening lessons on the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Discover the path to pure love for God and transcend the material world. Embrace the teachings that have guided devotees for centuries. Attain spiritual perfection through devotion. Prepare to understand the depths of divine love. Find your path to spiritual enlightenment. Trust in the sutras. Follow these instructions. Be blessed with devotion. And now, His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. And adorations to the divine self in each of us. We are coming towards the end portion of Narada Bhakti Sutras. For your information, the sutras will not end. We'll take up Shandilya Bhakti Sutras. In 81st Sutra, Trisatyasya Bhaktireva Gariyasi. Bhaktireva Gariyasi. In all the threefold realities, devotion to God, that alone weighs heaviest. In other words, that alone is of real value. Threefold realities, past, present, and future. All things move on. But if you have attained devotion to God, you transcend time. It's a profound insight one has to develop. The yoga of devotion is not a historical development. Devotion is instinctive in every human heart. So, thousands of years ago, sages experienced devotion. Saintly personalities enjoyed union with God. 600 years ago, the same type of experience. Today, same. Nothing has changed. But in the world of science and technology, everything changes. What was needed for attaining enlightenment thousands of years ago, same is needed today. Same will be needed thousands of years later. So do not look forward to a speed-up process for enlightenment. In 82 Sutra, many points are summed up. It gives a general purview of spiritual movement leading to Para-Bhakti, supreme devotion to God. Guna Mahatmya Sakti, Rupa Sakti, Puja Sakti, Smarana Sakti, Dasya Sakti, Sakhya Sakti, Kanta Sakti, Vatsalya Sakti, Atmanivedana Sakti, Tanamaya Sakti, Param Viraha Sakti, Rupa Ekadhya Peka Dashadha Bhavati. Devotion is one. It expresses in 11 forms of divine attachment. Try to follow that. It's a very practical message. first expression of devotion to God is glorification of divine qualities. In all religions there is praising God. Your mind has to open up to the immense dimension of God's glories. To a beginner, you ask, praise God, then he will start counting on his fingers. What are his praises? So many people are miserable. There are earthquakes, hurricanes. So, why are we praising God? I've led you to a very gross level. If mind has become sensitive, you are enfolded by God's presence. And if your mind were to develop the habit of enjoying, reflecting upon the glories of God, if you develop that, that's a profound development in your personality. Remember, for a general basis, Lord Rama asked Hanuman, how am I related to you? And Hanuman said, Hanuman is a devotee, ideal devotee. Deha buddhya tu dasoham. To the extent I view myself as the body, I am your servant. You are the master. So therefore, continue to develop that bhavana, that feeling that I am a servant. It is his will, not my will. This doesn't mean that you do not put forth your best of your effort. Rather, the moment you recognize that you don't have to worry about things, lots of mental energy that goes in worrying is at your disposal. It's a historical episode. A great king, Shivaji, he was well educated in Vedas and scriptures. He had a great guru, Samartha Ram Das. And when he became a king, he began to worry a lot. His guru, in order to give him some insight, asked him to walk along with him. He took Shivaji as he strolled by the banks of a river. And in one area he asked Shivaji, lift up this rock. He lifted it up. And there are so many little creatures. They are all well relaxed. And Samartha Ram Das turned to him and said, do you know who is taking care of them? Implying that God is taking care of this entire universe, smallest speck of dust and the biggest you can imagine, all is well governed by divine intelligence. Therefore, as you develop devotion to God, your mind should not get involved in a negative way in a project of worry and anxiety. You can utilize worrying and anxiety type of experience, but only by keeping yourself above. You can enter the river, but keep your nose above the water. Do not allow yourself to be drowned in it. And the best way of doing it is to recognize God as your ruler, the master. And then Hanuman says to Rama, Jiva Buddhya, I am a ray and you are the sun. From the point of view of the mind, to the extent you are identified with the mind, you are a ray of God. But Jiva Buddhya Tavai Vaham, that is to say Atma Buddhya, from the point of view of the innermost self, I and you are the same. The 3 points of view. To the extent you are identified with the body, you just develop a sense of surrender and do the best you can. You know that your body will not last forever. Utilize your opportunity and blossom. To the extent you are identified with the mind, you are a ray of God. Consider yourself a reflection. Look into a bucket of water, there is a sun reflected in it. The potentiality of the reflected sun is unimaginable. And transcending body and mind, going beyond your ego awareness, they are nothing but the divine self, which is implied by all great statements from scriptures. The kingdom of heaven is within thee. Know ye not ye are gods? And Hindu scriptures speak louder. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. The biblical utterance, Old Testaments, I am that am I. So let me go along these 11 forms, which is interesting. If you read the commentary in orthodox way, you will be landing yourself into stories after story. Glorification of divine qualities. Commentaries direct your attention to Narada. He lived his life, his whole personality, constantly singing the names of God. He is a legendary personality, this ancient sage, who is always depicted holding a veena in his hand. If you are doing devotional meditation and feeling closeness with God, you may suddenly overhear some music. Narada is around you. The divine music, subtle perception of melody. So you have Narada, Vyasa, Shuka, Yajnavalkya, Bhishma, Arjuna, Parikshita. But I have chosen to give you practical insight. When you sit back and first develop a joyous project in your heart, let me be related to God. Let me come in tune with God, who is the creator, who is the source of mind, intellect, ego. When you go to sleep, who takes care of your whole personality? When you were a child, who took care of your personality? Even prior to being a child, you were with subtle body floating somewhere. That again figurative. How did you enter into embodiment? Therefore, become deeply interested in turning to scriptures where there are praises of God. Hindu scriptures are abundant. We have Sahasranam. Every deity has 1,000 names. And 1,000 names are glorifications. God who is embodiment of compassion. God who is embodiment of love. God who is embodiment of bliss. God who is supremely humble. God who grants all wishes of his devotees. God who is mother of mothers. I'm just giving you some samples. 1,000 names. Develop a hobby of doing that. Keep a notebook, and if you find a new attribute of God that tickles your mind, go on putting it. Sharing with others. Imagine how much your mental energy is moving in a different direction. And then you will realize that the whole world is glorifying God. If you are in a park, hear the birds singing so joyously. They are doing Vishnu Sahasranam. They are reciting the names of God. And there are things in the park that don't talk. And yet they are extremely eloquent. Blossoming flowers. Fragrance that spreads all around. Take up any one particular, just divine quality. It's enough to keep your mind deeply engrossed with divine love. And develop an interest in how different people offer prayers to God. Next point, I will not go into too much. Next is Rupa Sakti. So first type of attachment you should develop is to let your mind think of glorious attributes of God. That will make you literary also. Next, divine form. Rupa Sakti. Those who are not devotees, they too become attached to people in the world. They don't have divine qualities, but they have everyone has their own qualities. Sometimes negative qualities are more interesting, so people keep thinking of negative qualities, and then they pile up those qualities as time passes by. So what happens naturally? Mind is constantly involved in all this Vishaya Chintan, Vishaya Sakti. Vishaya means objects of the world, objects that delight your senses. And mind is constantly involved. Instead of that type of attachment, in Vishaya Sakti, you become attached because you have noticed somehow there is happiness in it. But when you become attached, the happiness aspect begins to fade. And stress aspect begins to develop. In the beginning, you found something, gave you great joy. Now, since it has given you joy, you want to hold on to that object. You want to preserve it. You want to confine it, put it into a cage. By the time you have secured by putting all types of needed factors, you find that happiness has gone away. You are more worried about how to preserve it, how to keep it, how to secure it from others also, those who want it. So in all objects of the world, in all relations, happiness is so superficial or so illusory. You think you are securing it, but it slips away from your hand. What you have secured is lots of mental involvement, lot of dependence. Contrary-wise, if you are moving to God, as you begin to discover joy arising out of repeating mantras, praying to God, keeping your mind calm and just invoking God's presence in your heart, joy comes. Now begin to love it. You begin to secure it. Now, if you want to secure it, that experience of joy will increase. Your attachment will increase also. So this is a different type of attachment. Ever increasing attachment to God. If that you have secured in your life, you need nothing else. All things will come to you. So the term here is divine form. All names and forms are expressions of God's presence, including your own name and form. First, try to understand. Can anyone experience anybody or experience your own body? Can you? So yes, I look around it and this is my body. But all that you have done is whatever your eyes can pick up. Beyond that, you don't know what it is. When you see people around you, all that you have seen is what your eyes have brought. When they say something, what have they said? All that you hear is what your ears have allowed. To the masses, experience brought by the senses is enough. That's the reality. But with a thoughtful mind, you realize that all the experiences you are getting through your senses are variable, dependent upon how you think, how your attitudes are. And whatever you are getting is not the reality. Your senses cannot grasp reality. Alter your senses and you see the world in a different way. What I'm leading you to understand, therefore, behind all forms, names and forms that present themselves to you, one thing for certain, God is the reality, including your own name and form. Ghat ghat mein hai Sai Ramata. In every individual dwells God. Therefore, first thing, stop hurting others. Katuk bachan mat bol re. No matter what, no matter how much you are provoked, that's where your challenge is. Internally we smile and say, provoke me more. Ghat ghat mein hai Sai Ramata. Another statement, Siya Ram main sab jag jani. Saint Tulsidas says, knowing the entire world as Sita and Ram. Sita is the mother aspect, Ram is the father aspect. God in two aspects. Wherever your mind turns, you are beholding the presence of God. And now, keeping that ideal in view, train your mind. When you see something dazzling, beautiful, inspiring, a beautiful peacock spread its feathers, waiting for a rain to come, looking at that beauty. Don't start saying how ugly is the voice of this peacock. You have a choice. Look at the beauty aspect. That beauty is beckoning your mind to God. God is the source of all beauty. When you practice Sagun Upasana, you have a deity before you. Deity has a form, all symbolic. Your mind has to develop an imagination that all the beauty of the world has become condensed into that form. And when you are not worshipping, you walk around in the world, you see all that beauty spread around. If you find hard to find beauty, look up to the sky. There is Krishna with his blue complexion. The light of lights, the sun, very close to you. The whispering breeze, very close to you. The very heart within you palpitating. Love for form, divine form. All form should beckon your mind to God's amazing beauty. All this is being said, that's what should become your hobby. Start collecting wonderful pictures of beauty and expansion and sharing them with others. But remember that with that particular touch, they should inspire a divine presence. Behold the lilies of the field. How do they grow? In the lilies, Lord Jesus sees the divine intelligence. The very same divine hand that fashions all is blossoming through the lily. And Solomon, with all his intelligence and power, was not arrayed like any one of them. Next type of attachment you should develop is puja, worship. Have a puja room, a place where you daily can sit down and offer prayer. Create it in a way that as you enter, there are certain symbolic things that elevate your mind. God of your choice. And there you can sit, offer your prayers, do your mala, your japa, and become attached to that practice, no matter what happens. Just like people will become attached to tea, coffee, rasgullas, cigarettes. Similarly, get attached. When you are attached to any one of these, rather all of these in different degrees, you are moving towards God realization, whether you like it or not. Because attachment is very powerful. You are drawn to whatever you become attached to. This is very profound art. The sages evolved, turning to God not like a big project. Even hardly you have started turning to God, people start reminding you it's a very difficult path. You slip, you break your legs. God is an awesome personality, be careful. Not so. When you become attached to doing your puja, doing your worship, which includes repeating mantras, praying, doing meditation, you become internally enriched. Your impressions in the unconscious begin to change. And that's what you are looking for. not a quick result, but just like you eat food, you want nourishment. Having taken food, you don't look for nourishment the same day. It takes its own course. One thing for certain, that whether you are in doubt or not, you go on eating. Similarly, no matter what, you go on doing your mantra, your prayer, your japa. In the process, your bhavana joins it. Suddenly you realize the importance. Then you begin to enjoy it. Constant remembrance, next point. Smarana Shakti. You have time at your disposal. You are not involved with your job in the office. Now, when you relax, can your mind turn to any scriptural passage, any scriptural episode relating to Lord Jesus, relating to Lord Buddha, relating to Rama, Krishna? Can you allow your mind to be in association with the divine presence? And very simple process is, instead of keeping your mind vacant, turn to a mantra, Om, 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 Ram, Ram, any mantra, Om Shri Ramaya Namah, etc. And while you repeat the mantra, you try to bring to your mind the feeling that you are sustained by God, the feeling that you are like a child enfolded by divine love. There can be so many. That's called remembrance, smarana. Just like objects are remembered by people. Children sit back and remember, oh, I went to that ice cream, it was so wonderful. My mother stopped me from taking it. I just gave a very simple illustration. Your mind is constantly remembering, unnecessarily. Instead, have a purposeful project of remembrance, bringing to your mind and dwelling on it. That goes on creating in your unconscious special impressions. You cut new grooves, old style technology, in your unconscious. So even when you are not aware, your mind follows that pattern. And that's a tremendous advancement in your personality. Dasya bhav, I have already explained. Feel I am an instrument in divine hand. I am a slave, he is the master. Slaves enjoy all the facilities. Master enjoys all the responsibilities. Let God has all the responsibility. Let him worry about the world. I do my portion. I'm a slave, I'm a das. Next, Sakya Bhav, feeling of closeness with God to such an extent that you open up your heart. While you are praying, suddenly your mind comes into a little clouded state. So, oh God, what is the matter with you? Have you become deaf? No, don't follow it literally. And don't be afraid. What did I do? What will happen to me? I have spoken against God? Not so. If God is your mother, and you open up yourself to mother never angry, rather mother becomes more pleased. So that type of attitude when you develop towards God, and you develop it in a way that is not, when you are trying to scold God, you know that you are too stressed up and you are trying to open your heart and unburden yourself. You are not really inflicting anything or throwing mud on God. That's an advanced state where you open your heart and place it before God. And God responds to you as a friend. That's dramatized with Arjuna and Krishna. All great personalities were very friendly people, closely related to great sages. Next bhav is Vatsalya bhav. Vatsalya bhav is twofold. Feel you are a child in divine hands, or God is a child in your hands. Bring the lofty state of childhood in your mind and heart. Now, when I said lofty state, you will smile. How can that? Children have lofty state. Being childlike is the greatest attainment. Being childish is foolish. So as you become more and more relaxed, uncomplexed, your personality becomes like a child. You can do amazingly great things, but just like a child. And you view God in the same term. God is also without complexity. A child looking into the eyes of a mother. A mother looking into the eyes of a child. No big grammatical lectures. No strenuous manipulations. No stern agitations. That should be relationship with God. That's called Vatsalya. And you get attached to it. Each gives you enjoyment. And whatever gives you enjoyment, you become attached to it. Only in the path of devotion, attachment goes on growing. Along with the joy, heart goes on expanding. The saying is, Prem sada badhibo kare, yon sasikala suvesh, pay puno yame nahi tate kamahu na shesh. Love goes on growing like waxing moon. With one difference, waxing moon waxes to ultimate, and that's it. But the divine love has no end to it. It goes on waxing. God is infinity. Next is Kanta Sakti, an attachment between wife and husband, very ideal, profound, or lover and beloved. It has nothing to do with sentimental aspect. It's a positive counterpart. God has become the source of the sweetest love you can ever experience. That was the type of love enjoyed by Meera and many saintly personalities. Gopis in Krishna time. It's called Madhurya Bhav, the sweet sentiment. In the biblical literature, Song of Solomon gives you some rays, some spray of this type of experience. God is the beloved. And your soul has fallen in love. That fallen term is bad. It's risen in love. Next is Atmanivedan. Means surrender. Absolute surrender. Surrender comes when your personality is integrated. Otherwise, you say, I surrender myself, I give my hand to you. But your legs are walking the other way. But when a whole personality is integrated well, then you have no feeling of separation from God. You have become like a flute in divine hand. All that you feel is the melody flowing through. Next one is called Tanamaya Sakti. You become deeply engrossed. You have hardly any awareness or being separate from God. Lali mere lal ki jit dekhun tit lal. Meera offers her songs. I went out to look at the beauty of my beloved, but wherever I turn my eyes, I see my beloved. And behold, and there is nothing to behold. I am drowned in it. I myself became the beloved. Next one is called Param Viraha Sakti. Viraha is separation. Experiencing a special type of pain when somehow you feel you are separated, as if God has forgotten you. Subtle point to understand is that there are times people do lots of devotional activities, prayer, all that. Then suddenly few days pass and they have not done anything. And they don't feel bad about it. Viraha Sakti means you should feel bad about it. If you didn't do prayer at the time of doing prayer and feel bad about it, that's the spiritual progress. It is dramatized by one of the episodes, stories, parables. There was a saintly person. Every day he offered his devotion, his prayers. But one particular day, something happened and he missed waking up at the right time and offering the prayer. Life has brought some problems to him. And when it happened, he felt so badly. Now, or rather, adjust the story. One day, he stayed without doing prayer, lying on his bed. And that was the time for his prayer and he was on the bed. To his surprise, someone was waking him up. He opened his eyes. Whom does he see? He saw the devil. Waking him up. He said, what's the matter? And the devil says, it's the time for your prayer. The saint said, aren't you supposed to discourage people from prayer? What has happened to you? He said, nothing has happened. If you don't pray, and as a result, you repent, I will lose. You gain more access to God. My role is not to have that possibility for you. So I have to choose between two evils. So better you do your prayer. Instead of not doing it and then, oh God, why have I forgotten? And thereby, God begins to immediately respond to you. I don't like that, the devil said. It's a dramatization, try to understand. That's what we mean, Viraha Sakti. When you don't do prayer, when you don't turn to God, and there is feeling of deep unrest, which is not ordinary stress. It is not psychological abnormality. It is something highly positive. When your healthy body feels unrest because of hunger, it is positive. Similarly, Viraha Sakti is spiritual appetite, spiritual hunger for turning to God, for divine love. And with this we conclude. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of spiritual growth. It's an honor to learn from the wisdom of Swami Jyotirmayananda. As we part for now, remember, the quest does not end. Take time to reflect on today's insights and integrate them into your life. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, stay present. The light within you is always shining.